Hey there, how are you? Casey here, and I wanted to make a video to kind of show you exactly what Easy Webinar is all about. Now, luckily, I landed on a page where I'm making the most worstest face in the world, so let me change that around. So this is an example of one of the pages that Easy Webinar builds out. Easy Webinar is an all-in-one webinar event suite that creates live events and automated events, but I want you to start looking at it as a software that builds out the most engaged marketing funnels out there. And those, of course, are webinars, because why? They are hugely engaging. They let you create a connection with your audience and builds trust, and you can actually sell higher ticket price items on a webinar. So this is an example of a webinar right now, as you can see right here. This is one of our templates inside Easy Webinar, and for this particular event, I'm using it as an automated webinar. So from the user perspective, I choose a time and I put my name and my credentials in, and I register for this particular event, where I then come to a thank you page. This person's giving me a call to action in the thank you page. They're telling me a little bit more about them. I'm getting interested. I can see what time I'm registered for, which is tonight. And of course, this is in my time zone. I can save this, so I can add this to my calendar. I always forget to come to events, so if I have something that's saved like this, I'll know to come right away. It automatically is added in, and inside here, this is cool. Here's my actual unique URL to the event itself. So if I were to click over here and pop that in, it would bring me to the event or a countdown timer prior to the event starting. Okay, so that's from the user's perspective. Now, from you, the admin, or the person actually putting on the event, all you had to do in that scenario was come into Easy Webinar's dashboard. So now I choose a recurring event. I stream it out in my attendees time zone. Okay, that means my attendees local time zone, and I make it an automated webinar. I have the option of making this event frequency specific dates, days in the week, and or every day, and I'm going to choose every day because that's how we're running it right now. So I'm going to choose 11, 3, and 7. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yesterday's replay, I don't need this at the moment. It would give me the option of playing the replay from the actual registration page itself, so people can actually instantly watch a replay from that page. So I'm just going to keep this as is. Now, this is your back office. This is where you create all of your events. And Easy Webinar, as I said, is a full webinar event suite that creates a full marketing funnel from registration page to thank you page to event page, notifications, etc. So all you're going to really do here is select in your template funnel library what template you want to use for creating this all-in-one webinar funnel. Now, this is the one we're using for this particular page, right? For this example, I'm going to use this one. This is our double presenter theme, and I can add up to 2 people here, and that's what I'm really going to do. While I am looking at this from the admin point of view, let's look at it from the user point of view. So someone would come to the page, they can choose to register for the future event, and it will then bring me as the person who just registered into a thank you page. And on this thank you page, again, we have the webinar URL, which will take me to a countdown page prior to the event starting. We have the social share features. That's what it feels like from the user perspective. From the admin perspective, you just select this. Then you go in and you add a couple presenters here. I'm going to have an image for John here. Okay. Now you can also choose to upload images as well. So you can actually grab something straight from your desktop. You can actually preview, see what it looks like. And this is what it looks like when we have just registered, right? It looks exactly the same. After you're done with the event information area, you're going to jump into the registration page. And essentially from the registration page, this is where you build out your headline, your subheadline, any bullets that you wanted to mention. Enable the social share on the registration page. You can add multiple fields. You can add Skype or phone that can be required to turn on or off. You could choose to have a Facebook sign up instead of the normal sign up. You could just use Facebook. This is essentially a one-click registration here. Then you can add footer text into your footer of your webinar. So then I'd go, now that I've done my registration page, I go to my thank you page. On this page, my thank you page, I can have a video on here, and that's what we have right here. As you can see, video. You could choose to decide how big of a player you want. Do you want 16:9 or 4:3? We have our thank you message, and then we are good. Now, the last thing we're going to do is we're going to go into the social share feature, and we're going to click enable. And what this does is essentially on the thank you page, when someone shares news of the event, you're going to give them a free gift, and that free gift URL will go right here when you're going to be doing this. We're going to save that, and we're going to move in now to the event page. Now, there are many different templates you can choose from that will show what this room looks like. This particular template is kind of cool. The chat and the offer goes to the right of the video. You're going to add your headline, your subheadline, any event description that you want. Now, at this point, you're going to decide on your streaming methods. How are you going to stream this? Are you going to put this as a video, pre-recorded video if it's automated, or maybe you're going to create a Google Hangout or YouTube Live event and put the YouTube URL that event is streaming into. We also allow you to upload videos. Now, the uploader is associated with Amazon, and what you would do is you'd add in your own Amazon credentials. You upload the video, it will then house this video inside Easy Webinar, so you'll be able to access it again and again. Now, if you don't have an Amazon S3, we have an option of hosting the video for you. It's an optional upgrade that you don't have to take advantage of, but it's there for you if you don't want to upload your own videos. So you can upload a video straight into this, and we will stream these videos out in real time. So if I were to take this one and pop that in, it's going to create what's known as an RTMP video link, which means real-time streaming. It's also going to create a mobile-friendly link, which is HTTP, because mobile-friendly can't take RTMP videos. Now, I'm also going to decide what kind of player I want on that particular event page, if I want a wide player or a 4x3. Oftentimes, it's just dependent on what kind of presentation you're using. If you're using a standard 4x3 PowerPoint presentation, you may want to use this one. If you're using YouTube's default settings and maybe putting yourself in front of the camera, you're going to want to use this one. Now you're going to decide how long you want that event to stream out. This is important because if you put a video in here, a pre-recorded video, you're going to want to get down to the second, the correct length of time, because that length of time is going to be beneficial for you to have what are known as delayed events or timed events. And we're going to talk about those timed events in 1 second. You can also redirect attendees when the event is over. So if you have a sales page that you want to send people to, or a pricing page, you can do that as soon as you end the broadcast and or your video, your pre-recorded video ends. Now, chat box. We have a lot of different options for the chat box. You can use our default chat box, Twitter, Facebook, any third-party chat like live chat, Chatwing, Livefire, things like that. You can certainly add into this to build up more engagement. But I prefer our actual default box because our default box actually will add all the data of the questions people have into your Easy Webinar report. Okay, moving on, you also have the option of adding in an attendee list. Now you can choose to just have 0 here, which means that you can have an unlimited number of attendees. You can show the attendee list, you can disable it. You can actually also add simulated attendees if you don't have social proof. Let's say you don't have people coming to your events. You can have a number of simulated attendees. Now you can also choose to have 0 simulated attendees but still show live attendees as they are live. Okay, so we just went through the event page. Now what we're going to do is go in to the timed events. Now this is what I mentioned. Timed events are start points and end points that will do something during your event, such as asks a question, where I ask it and then a pop-up shows up. So you can add buy now buttons. You can also add your own buy now buttons. You can associate those buy now buttons to Infusionsoft tags. And all you really have to do is refresh this, and I can then say add relevant tags based on these actions, such as they saw but they didn't click. Coming over to the notification section or tab in Easy Webinar, you'll find that we have a built-in notification system. Now, this system can be used by itself, or you can actually just use your own autoresponder by putting your autoresponder code here, or you could use both. And by putting both, you would add your autoresponder code here, and then what that would do is that would add someone to your autoresponder list, as well as send out these emails. So we have the welcome email that will go out, and each email has various templates that you can use, as you can see up here, as well as short codes on the side here that can be used to make your email is more personal. You could use your username, the person that signed up, the webinar topic, your name as the presenter, the webinar link. Now, these templates already have those built into them. As you can see, if you scroll down, join the event now, that's already hyperlinked, and as well as all this data is already hyperlinked for your specific user's information. So you could do that. You'd enable the welcome email. And then you have before event notifications. And these are essentially set prior to the event going out. So if you want to send and schedule something 2 days before, you could do that. 1 day before. Okay. 1 hour before. And this one is set for 15. Now, the cool thing about this is that you can set various times. So you could set this up to 5 days before. You could set it up to 23 hours before, and down to really the minute. So you could do 30 minutes before, 45 minutes before, 15 minutes before, or by putting it at 0, that sends out a notification exactly at the time that the event is starting. So you have a lot of options here. And the cool thing about the second cool thing, because that's cool unto itself, but the second cool thing is if someone registers on 1 day before the event, don't worry, they're not going to get the email that was supposed to go out for the 2 day before people, okay? You have to understand that these are dynamic emails, so they're going to go out specifically based on when someone registers. So the person that comes and registers a day before, let's say they registered 25 hours before, well, they will get this message saying, hey, you have an event in 24 hours, right? But if they come, say, and register for that particular day, that same exact day, and if they say 3 hours ahead, they'll get this email and followed up by the second email before the event starts, or however many you set up before the event starts. So as you can see, it has a dynamic deliverability. We also have the after event notification. So you can set up something to go out 1 day after, 2 days after, and you can set this up to 5 days, the hours, minutes, based pretty much on the same exact principle. Another thing that's really cool and highly suggested is to use our SendGrid integration. This allows you to add your own SendGrid information in so that those emails will be hosted by your SendGrid. By default, they're hosted by your own server, but by doing this, you can guarantee the deliverability right into your attendees inbox. Now, moving on into the Advanced Options tab, let's jump over to third-party script. Now, inside third-party script, you can do a couple things. First off, you will find that we have affiliate information. So you can actually add affiliate parameters to your events, which essentially will help you track all your affiliates through your webinars if you don't already have that set up. With some shopping carts and affiliate programs, you don't have to set this up at all. It's already built in, such as Infusionsoft or ClickBank. But others don't have it, and that's when you can use parameter names to set this up effectively. So moving into the third-party script area, we have the ability for you to put your registration page scripts, thank you page scripts, and event page scripts. Now, why would you use this? This is when you're trying to track conversions, let's say, when people register. Now, what I would normally do is I'd use Facebook to do that. I'd go into my Facebook, and if I'm doing a Facebook ad, I can easily take my conversion tracking code and see the leads who are coming in to my event or my funnel. And that's really great because then you can track all the different people that have been flowing into your webinar, and by doing so, you're able to now know if you're getting a return on investment based on the Facebook ads you're setting up. In that scenario, you generally would put the Facebook conversion pixels right into the thank you page, right in the header script. But you can also add on the registration page. You can add things like Google Analytics, you know, how many people are coming to the page, etc., etc. Let's jump over to the SEO settings. Now, the SEO settings are great because this allows you to add in a browser title, metadata for the keywords, as well as to the description, so that all of your webinars and events can be tracked by Google. Here in the rename page URLs, you have the ability to add essentially any name you want, okay? And this is great for if you want to have something very nice and SEO based, and also for your own brand. Okay, we also have an Infusionsoft integration. And the cool thing about the Infusionsoft integration is that we have universal integration, where you would essentially go and set this up in your admin panel. You would go over to advanced integration and add in your Infusionsoft machine name as well as the encryption key. And then you jump back into your dashboard, go back to the advanced options, and then you would turn on your universal Infusionsoft integration per event, okay? Which means for each event you can track all this data. If they've registered, came to the event, watched the full event, did not come to the event, if they left early, maybe they clicked on an action button, maybe they watched a replay, maybe they asked a question. All this data can be tracked inside your Infusionsoft record. So we have our own built-in analytics area. But what's great about this is that now you can pass in that data right into your Infusionsoft account. And as I already showed you earlier, your timed events also have specific Infusionsoft tagging as well, where you can track if someone saw, say, a buy now button or any particular timed event. So you can assign tags based on these two actions: if they saw the offer but didn't click, or if they saw the offer and clicked it. Okay, now I'm just going to click Save and Publish, and we are then going to go through and look at some of the other templates that you can create with EasyWebinar. So first let's look at this one, just to see what this one has done now that we've added that information to it. Okay, there we go. So I have Casey and Casey. Here's my logo right here. I can actually choose to make this a shorter distance based on how much header I decide on. It's simply just go right back into editing the webinar and go into the registration page, where you could then make that header even smaller. So right now we have 89, but I could put very easily, let's say 65. That means that people don't have to scroll down below the fold. And there it is. It's much tighter now, as you can see. Yeah? So this is one way to do it. Now, as I said, you have the replay option. That's what I showed on there. This is sent out as an automated webinar because now I have 2 dates. But let's say I wanted to go back in and make this a one-time event. So the cool thing about EasyWebinar is that at any moment you can go in and change an event that was, say, set to recurring and change it to a one-time event. So now I'm going to change this to a one-time event. I'm going to make it live. I'm going to set it in my time zone, and I'm going to choose to have it stream out now, and I'm going to choose to have it stream out, let's say, at 5 p.m. Okay, so you can see that it has now just name and email because, of course, it is a one-time event. You can also do events on the fly. So if you wanted to send people directly into a page where they could watch an event happening right now without you requiring them to register, you can send them into something like this. This is a no registration public event link, which gives them direct access to this page. And as you can see, here it is right here, right? Now, they will have to put their name and email and ask questions and things like that, but you can do this where it doesn't require that they register at all. They can just come directly into the event, right? Another cool thing that you can actually do is, let's say you want to schedule a future event, but still not require them to register to come into the event. Well, I can click this public countdown link, and it will take me to the countdown page prior to event starting. And if that event is in the future, I don't have to register for it. It will just have the countdown for, say, an hour. And this is what you could send out to people in your own autoresponder, okay? If you wanted to use your own front-end registration process, you could simply use our countdown page here, put that in your email, and then set your time. So like if I went in, edited this webinar to set the time, now when we go back over to the actual page where we're going to grab those links, if we go to the link that says no registration countdown public event link, we know that that link is going to show that an event is happening in an hour and a half. So that's where it shows right here, as you can see. Yeah, you see that? Shows that the event is going to happen in an hour and a half, and we can get in at that time. This is the link that you can send out to people if you don't want them to come directly to the event before the event starts, because at the time of the event, it will redirect into the event room itself. Each webinar you create comes with what's known as a registration widget or a registration box that can be placed anywhere on the web, whether that's on any type of registration front-end page you want to create with optimized press or lead pages or anything. Or put it on your website, say in the sidebar or into a post. You can literally put this anywhere. Well, we just rolled in the integration to where when someone registers for this registration box, you can have them redirected to the Easy Webinar thank you page. Let me show you what I mean. So let me quickly show you. If I go to the webinar widget and I grab the iframe of the webinar widget, I copy that, and I go over here and I'm just going to put that into this post. This is just a test post to see what this looks like. We're going to save that draft. Okay, and we're going to view the post. And as you can see, this is what the form looks like, and it is the form for this particular event right here, which is, of course, this page. Hi there, are you an expert on... So you can see that they align 22nd and 23rd. Okay, so I can, if I choose the 23rd, right, 11, 3, and 8, and you can see here on the test, it is also right. You have the 11, 3, and 8. And the next available time slot for this particular day is 8 p.m. That's today. So now this is what the widget will do right now, because in the back office, as you can see here, we have selected to redirect it to the thank you page. So what's going to happen here is now I can go in and go to Tracy, register for this event, and what will happen is it will now redirect me into the Easy Webinar thank you page. Thank you so much for registering. Here it is right here. And I am now officially signed up for the event that's happening in 10 minutes as Tracy. Now, if I were to choose to change that, if I didn't want to have the redirect, I would click here to turn it off. Yeah, I did that. So now if we go in here, we'll go to View Post. And now let's sign up for a different time. I'm going to sign up for tomorrow. Okay. And before, what happened was it redirected to the thank you page. Well, now that I turned that off, it keeps it within here, within the iframe code. So now this will take me directly to the countdown page, as you can see right there, yeah? Just like my friend Chris Farrell here, who has set up his lead pages page. You can see right here, this is a lead pages page. He has this set up to keep the iframe inside, but with 4.0 you have the flexibility of actually sending this off to the thank you page as well. And where you'd use that is, that's generally good for people that want to maybe track with Facebook. If you want to track your Facebook conversions, that is why sending them to the thank you page might be a great idea. Or if you want to give them some new information, or you want to give them the free gift, there's a lot of options there. I can also go into John Lee Dumas, who's another customer, and click his, and this is of course using Optimized Press 2, as you see right here. Yeah, register now, and it will not stay here like the other one, but it will redirect to his thank you page. Another really cool feature that we have, which we're growing more and more here, is the one-click registration. So you're going to replace the name with attendee name and email with attendee email inside your own autoresponder. And this is very easy to do with short codes that your own autoresponder provides. But I'll show you an example of how this is going to work. So you paste this in, and I'm just going to give you an example of how this would flow. My name, I'm going to call Tracy, and Tracy at YouTubeRevealed.com. I'm using my assistant's email. And as soon as you pass this off into your email, it's going to confirm the event for your future guest. And of course, now they are registered. Easy Webinar has a very advanced analytics section that will allow you to test and see how many registrants you had, various things like that. You can, in fact, go through one of your previous webinars and see how much of an event someone watches. So maybe they watch more than 40%. You have to filter the results, and you could see who on the list watched more than 40%. If I wanted to show who took an action, it will also show me who's asked a question, or who is clicked on a buy now button, let's say. Another cool thing is that you can actually choose a block of dates. So let's say I wanted to only track check traffic from the 19th to, say, the 30th. It would tell me how many visits I have had, how many registered attendees, how many people showed to the event, how much they watched, whether that's 80% or more, if they came to the replay, and if they took an action. And as I said, an action is clicking on a link or asking a question. So we could go through this process and see if that guy has asked a question, that Casey. Did he click a link? Yeah, he clicked the Get Access Now link. A couple final things I want to show you is that you can go immediately into your admin section where you can start watching tutorials on how to set up your events. And you can also, if you wanted to, get our hosting options, go into the advanced settings area and integrate your Infusionsoft. And we, of course, recommend to integrate with SendGrid. You can go into our Producer's Corner where we will help you set up your events for you. You can go in and send us questions. If you have any issues, you can send a question, contact us, submit a ticket, and we will get back to you as soon as we possibly can. And finally, to sum it up, we are the only software that can allow you to effectively, in real time, go from a one-time event to a recurring event on the fly. So Easy Webinar is an all-in-one webinar event suite that can do every type of event there is. In fact, many of our users have used them for online summits. They've used them for web TV shows. As soon as you become a member of Easy Webinar, you can immediately add the software to your own WordPress site, get the product, get your access key, and start taking advantage of it right away. Thanks so much, and I'll see you on the inside. Bye-bye.